All right, everyone, we are here with War 7 against Salty. Today we'll be taking in White Magneto, Mr. Negative, and Doom. White Magneto is just going in for pre-fight placement. I have Path 3 in Section 1 and Path 8 in Section 2. Little bit of a relaxed war for me comparing to the load I took the first half of the season. So I went ahead and put a White Magneto pre-fight on this Moleman. It's already there. You're not going to see me place it. I'm going to 6-hour boost in the hope that I can take all 4 fights with these boosts, but timing does not work out in my favor, so we're going to end up having to reboost for 1 fight. No big deal. Moleman here, White Magneto pre-fight. You're going to see me play it super safe. All I'm really going to do is parry heavy for the most part. And then when I get to SB3, nuke him with SB3. There might be a few combos where it's medium, light, after an SB3 just to keep his power low. Since this node does have return policy and he's going to end up gaining an armor up buff from Hit Me, I Dare You, and from the global. So, pretty straightforward. It's a little bit more complicated that every 10th hit on this node, Moleman's going to gain an armor up. So instead of it being just straightforward with the global being the only armor up triggering Unstoppable, there's a chance he does on combo. Now, some benefits of using Doom is that his special attacks, if you throw SP1 first, or if you throw SP3 while the aura is up, all his special attacks are unblockable. So you can technically time a special attack 1 or a special attack 2 to where if the Unstoppable starts at the beginning of your special attack or you throw it in the middle of the Unstoppable, the Unblockable is going to take care of the part of hitting into block and then you getting punished. So Doom has been somewhat of a counter to this global for many for that reason. But you can see here things are going pretty smooth. I did end up having that issue right there. Since I've taken Manthing with I Hit You, I Dare You, or sorry, Hit Me, I Dare You with Mr. Negative, I thought on the 10th hit I'd be able to dash out if Unstoppable triggered, and I just did not have the timing there for some reason. So who knows what kind of recovery the AI has. And then you see me doing this here with the SP1. It's just so that I don't end up getting cornered over time. He's not unstoppable now, but if I keep backing up for every attack of now 3 SB1s, then eventually it could get cornered. And then we just have to pay attention with Frenzy, specifically during SB2, because it'll come out unblockable. So this SB3 will end it, especially after I decide to heavy him in the face. So pretty straightforward Moleman fight. Not super duper complicated. Mystic Dispersion and Mystics, the global just feeds them. So moving on, Sorcerer Supreme on Hurt Locker. This is just Mr. Negative food. So nothing special. She's not high ground anymore, so we can evade counter. So parry heavy 3 times with the PS1 and we'll be at 9 light energy evade counter. More than likely going to block evade counter because she'll have an SB1, especially with Power Focus 2. And that'll put us at 9 dark energy, and then casually build the next set of dark energy and evade counter into SP2. What you're going to see, and what I watched on playback here, is that it's clearly overboosted because I am far beyond, or I'm well past 50% health on Sorcerer Supreme before I even drop the SB2. So here's my last bit of building it, evade counter. Maybe it's the SB2 that pushes her. There we go. So before we even get the degen on her, she's past 50% and down she goes, which is fine. Since we're using a PS1, we want that boost to carry over to this Manthing here because he is the most concerning node that I'm taking this war. So a fast fight there with Sorcerer Supreme just means that we don't have to rush here. White Magneto pre-fight is here just for the bonus damage, not for the passive stun. It's not going to work Mr. Negative is neither a hero or metal, so that pre-fight does not help us from that aspect. But you guys have seen me take this fight before. This Manthing does not have suicides, so I'm very aware that it's going to be parry, reparry, parry, reparry, heavy. And this gives us 5 light when we back up. A parry again gives us 7. Evade counter, there's the 7 dark. We're at 6 hits. That is a important piece of this strategy to pay attention to. Parry, we're at 8. Parry, there's 10. So an armor up should have triggered, but for some reason it only triggered 9, and then that evade counter triggered the 10th. So I actually got somewhat lucky there that that armor up that triggered on the evade counter didn't trigger unstoppable. Now, if it had triggered, I would have actually just gotten smacked in the face. There wouldn't have been time to throw SB2. But it's kind of unfortunate that I followed the hit counter the correct way and it just didn't lead to an armor up being triggered. Not sure why. He wasn't stunned and I did have Pacify in my masteries, but interesting. You guys can replay that and tell me what you think. And then I had to reboost for this 4th fight. Not a big deal. I'd rather secure it. And it's Storm Pyramid X on the Rich Get Richer. You know, only real concern here is getting hit with an unblockable SB2. Yes, Doom will survive a couple of those. But I decided to play this even safer / cheesier. I'm not actually going to hit her passive bar power here. I'm going to try and trigger a dexterity buff and take advantage of the node. So you see I stopped there for the PS1, or for her special one. Now I have dexterity and now I'm the one gaining power. So I was trying to get her to back up and hit into her block, and she caught me in a dash back, so that kind of ruined that part of the plan. Now she doesn't have the prowess buffs. So here in a little bit after I get... Oh, there we go. So after this one here, I'm going to be able to dex and then just wait and hit into her block for SB3. So I'm just taking advantage of the node. Okay, now that we're at SB3 and she's not an SB1, I'm throwing it, and when I come out of this, I'm not doing a Doom rotation. She makes basic attack glance, so there's a chance that shock or the power drain don't work. So we're just gonna go ahead and do medium, light, and hope that we drain her somewhat, and we hope that we nullify her prowess somewhat. Because this is just a special 3 fest. And I took advantage of the fact that I have a dexterity and a fury buff while trying to bait out her SB1. So that puts me at the advantage. And then I just go right back into SB3. So it's just dodging her SB1 and using our SB3. That's where I found my comfort zone is with this fight. And as you can see, it's going quite well. Now, back in high ground, this probably wouldn't have worked as well because she would have gained high ground charges in the process of trying to build the SB3. So it's definitely a lot safer now. But yeah, this is the fight. Nothing else super special. Nothing extra happens outside of here. Those first few hits that we took while we had the invulnerability boosts are about the only hits we take the rest of the fight. And I think it's one more SB3 and she's done. I don't think I finish her with a combo, and I don't think I risk using SB2 instead. Yeah, I'm just sitting here waiting to get to SB3 while I have 2 buffs. Now 1, and here's the finish. So pretty easy war for me, pretty laid back. Yeah, didn't ask for it, just kind of worked out that way. But yeah, that is the end of my War 7. Our BG beat their BG 8-3. So not a good war for us, but the opponent played poorly. And then as a whole, it went 17-8. So unfortunate for Salty, they keep matching a few top alliances, whereas I think they should just be matching a few more at their level. But I will take the win. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I can't make any promises that I will have the war planning video for map 8 out, as I am on vacation, but if it does drop, keep your eyes out for it. Like, follow, share, subscribe, and I will catch you guys at the next video.